What is up? This is Raphael from NBA Draft Junkies, and the prospect for today is Ibou Badji, who happens to be one of my favorite prospects in this draft class. He's what I would consider high risk, high reward, arguably, well, I shouldn't even say arguably. In my opinion, I think he's one of the most talented prospects, period. Just his God-given natural abilities, 7'1", freakish athlete, 7'8" wingspan, little raw, has a lot of work to do, only 18 years old, but I think his upside is ridiculous. Maybe even a little bit of Rudy Gobert in this game. But before I get into the video, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, hit the bell notification thingy, like, comment, share. And if you like dunks, check out this video. The first thing that stands out when you watch Badji's film is his freakish athleticism, his explosiveness, and his quick twitch vertical pop. He's listed at 7'1" with a ridiculous 7'8" wingspan and a 9' 10" standing reach, which means he can probably dunk on his tiptoes. A 7'8" wingspan is already crazy, but it's almost unfair to have this type of length and athleticism rolled into one player. At the very minimum, Badji should be able to carve out a role as a vertical lob threat due to his outlier physical tools. Besides the fact that he can jump to the moon, look at this play where he cocks the ball back to his jersey number, old school Latrell Sprewell style, and finishes with anger. He's also pretty mobile. He's coordinated. He moves with fluidity and long strides. Now there will be more on that coming up later on in the video.
Para Ibou Badji.
Encuentra Caicedo, se levanta, no se la deja. Badji para abajo.
Now, scoring as the roll man will likely be Badji's bread and butter in the NBA. I'd personally like to see him on a team that has a guard that excels at getting downhill and creating easy scoring opportunities for him out of ball screens. I believe Badji could be one of the most efficient finishers in the league with a good playmaker and being surrounded by floor spacers. Now, I'll admit, this is a stretch, a big stretch, since he's never really been efficient from the floor in his brief career. But for whatever reasons, I'm a believer in his upside, and I know there's some that have kind of given up on him, but I'm still a believer. I think he does a decent job of accelerating out of screens, which is a good sign. But he's still raw, he's still unpolished, but he's still more of a long-term project than a plug-and-play prospect. He'll also need to improve his hands and overall feel for the game to reach his full potential. Now, do not get me wrong. In no way, shape, or form am I saying Badji is going to be a guy that you give the ball to on the block and tell him to go get you a bucket. However, he's shown some flashes of skill, soft touch finishes, and a few nifty moves in the post. He's only 18, so there's plenty of time for him to develop, and I believe the sky is the limit as long as he's dedicated to the grind and is willing to put in the work. Here's an example of a nice move on the block where he drove middle, pivoted to the baseline, and finished with a soft baby hook. This move looks simple, but I was impressed by his mobility and coordination on this drive. And here's a play where he starts off at the three-point line, he jabs right, then he drives to his left and finishes with this offhand. Now this is the play that really caught my attention and makes me believe he has some ball handling skills that could be developed. He looked really comfortable putting the ball on the floor and executing a change of direction move and again finishing with the left. And this is a if, and this is a big if. But if Badji puts in the work, I also believe he could be a decent shooter. Now his free throw percentage tells a different story, and he only shot 19% on jumpers. It was a small sample size with only 16 attempts in the LEB, which is the second division of Spain. But in my opinion, I feel like his touch and form isn't bad. Like I said, if he puts in the work and works on his game, I really think that he could develop into a decent shooter. The last area on the offensive end where I believe Badji could have a big impact is on the offensive glass. Now the key word is could. And the reason I say could is because his motor is a little inconsistent. But when he's dialed in, he can change games with his energy, his hustle, and of course his length and outlier athleticism. But as I mentioned before, and I've mentioned it probably a couple of times in this video, he's still a little raw, and he only averaged less than 1 point per possession on offensive rebound putbacks. If he's going to make an impact, he'll definitely need to get those numbers up. You cannot make an Ibou Badji video without highlighting his shot blocking. Dude is an elite rim protector that would make slashers think twice about entering the paint. He has the potential to be a dominant defensive presence due to his mobility and length. Even if he's late on the rotation, he can alter shots with his ridiculous wingspan. Now, some of his blocks look like he's playing on the 8-foot rim versus middle schoolers. I mean, look at these blocks from AfroBasket back in December. Get that out of here. Come on, man. Give me that.